This is Lucian Mellon, and today we paint a Dornian Heresy Imperial Fist Sergeant. The Dornian Heresy is a what-if story for Warhammer 40k. What if instead of Horus Lupercal being the arch-traitor himself, it was Rogel Dorn? What if Rabute Guilliman betrayed the Imperium and led the 500 worlds as their own empire? What if Sanguinius himself, the great angel, fell to Nurgle's rot? And many more. In this video, we'll paint a Dornian Heresy Imperial Fist Sergeant. The color scheme is rather simple, mostly the same, but in this video, we'll be trying a weird technique. Our base coat will be Army Painter Centaur Skin, followed up by Army Painter Scar Tissue, and other paints. But along with those two returning paints, we're going to be trying out a new paint that we have just picked up yesterday, Flash Guts Yellow, and Leviathan Blue, a contrast paint. In this build, we are thinking about incorporating a little bit of corrosion, as seen on him, using our Nicholas Oxide. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now, as per every time that we start off with an Army Painter squeeze bottle of paint, we open it up, we set up our trusty painting cap. Yes, that's what this is. It's the painting cap. It's an official tool. It's not just a water bottle cap. Squeeze out a good amount. That should be good this time. And of course, we grab the brush. Tip, 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 tip. Now, we grab our model. Yeah, just do whatever. Does everyone remember that time that Elon Musk lied about his gaming skills? Or was it confirmed that he was a liar? I remember stuff coming out about that. About how he apparently cheated on Diablo to like try and prove he was a pro gamer or something. Because apparently that's important to the world. Billionaires are weird. Oh, wow, we actually put too little onto the palette today. Alright, well, let's do a time cut, that way I can finish basing the model and this won't be too long. Alley-oop. Now that we have base coated the model fully, we're going to be taking scar tissue and doing the same. But this time, with a more dry brushing approach. Mix in, move the phone a little bit of that. The ratio is not set in stone, so don't think it is. There we go. essentially just highlight by dry brushing upwards. That is all you need to do for this step. That way when we paint the yellow on, it'll look like there's grime as seen right there on the backpack. Also, just because we did it last time, that'll make it easier for when it's brown. Oh, and of course the fur. Boom. Next up, we will take our handy dandy Imperial Fist Contrast. This will give us a good coat of yellow. Just make sure while you're painting, well, I don't know, I don't really know what I was gonna, yeah. Now, as you will see, the reason we chose to go with pink as a Imperial Fist base, along with the different shades of pink, is this. The contrast works, and it goes more orange the darker the area is. Now we do this across the entire model's armor panel section. Leave the fur alone and leave the leather cape alone. I think it's going to be leather. With that, we can move on to our next part. The next part, we'll be working with the metallics and blackening up certain parts of the armor. For the trim of the armor, we're going to be taking our Abaddon black, painting it on, and lightly dry brushing lead belcher over that. Let's see how it looks. With that, we have the black done, along with the metal accents all over it. Our model's shaping up nicely. Now, with that step done, we're going to start painting lead belcher onto the backpack area. We're going to paint up the bolt pistol. Of course, it's going to be black with, lead belcher. The cape we're going to paint in Gillian contrast along with the tabard, the belt, and the fur, that's going to be Ubashi bone. Another time cut. Now, for this specific part of the video, I did have to mute it as there was a bit of, background noise. The type of stuff that could have gotten my video taken down, probably could have gotten me demonetized if I was monetized, among various other things. What I will say about this part is that we are going to be taking Agrax Earthshade and start just filthying up the model. A good way to start is to take the bolts, as we will later, and basically sketch out the way they're going to be dripping down due to how disgusting the armor is. Then we coat the entire armor. And from there, we move on to the next part of the video. See you there. Back when it was actually me painting the model. Now that we've done our first set, we can continue making this disgusting trader with a little bit more Agrax Earthshade. This time we'll be using a smaller brush. Make sure that all of it flows to the bottom. I apparently didn't get any. Grab the model. And essentially take every bolt and just streak downwards. Big, tight little jar. A lot of people have been doing that, been leaking the new Avatar movie on Twitter. kind of weird. I mean, I get it. People don't like that it's being locked to one website. That doesn't mean you have to leak it. Hey, I mean, who knows? Maybe, I know it's a big stretch, they'll release it to other streaming services for a commission. Every time it's watched, boom, they get a payout. So, who knows? Maybe just leaking it on Twitter is actually a kind of a bad thing for them. And while, yes, I get it, it's a very, like, it's a corporation. They make a ton of money. You also gotta think about something else. Someone had to draw and animate everything. So, well, yes, you're sticking it to the corpos, you're also messing with the artists, the storyboardists, and everyone who actually worked on it, instead of just like, hey, we're the ones who own it, so we're gonna get a huge revenue out of it. Okay, just my opinion. I still hope that the artists get paid well. That is the main thing going on. Oh, by the way, we're using Mephisto Red. That's like the main thing I'm thinking about whenever I think about how many people have released it on Twitter. Yeah, look at those eyes. He's a Cyclops, technically. I do gotta say, so I forgot what I was talking about, so, let's just continue the model. We're gonna be moving on to the eyes highlight with Wild Rider Red. So let's bring him close. Turn his face to be facing the light. Do that. Next, we're going to move on to Logonath Orange. That's the typical orange we use on the channel. There we go. And with that, a little bit of Cassandora Yellow. Cassandora? I don't know the proper pronunciation for it, so let's just do our thing. Do that. Kind of acts as a bubble type thing, so it works out. And with that, we have our Dornian Heresy Sergeant. Well, not Sergeant, because he doesn't have a red helmet, so, But as you can see, his armor is filthy. He looks like a traitor. And yeah. You can also use this armor to make an Iron Warrior if you discard the fist on the pauldron. I don't really know what to say now.